read a couple verses there, and this is a pretext. All right? It says here in verse 10, therefore, brethren, be even more diligent to make your call and election sure. For if you do these things, you will never stumble. For so an entrance will be supplied to you abundantly into everlasting kingdom of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And then Peter says this, he said, for this reason, I will not be negligent to remind you of these things, though you know and are established in the present truth. So, what is Peter talking about here? Peter is talking about, I want to remind you about why you are what you are. And the best to do that, we have to go back, I believe, and remember God. Now go to John 3. John chapter 3. And we learned this verse as a child. We learned it all through our church history. But sometimes we forget what it is. See, and I've been on several discussions this week about coming back to what truth is. Instead of weighing myself down on, as Brother Jerry said, the cares of the world. It's easy to get bogged down in that. It's easy for like with the school, with the church, and with your ministries, it's easy to stop witnessing. It's easy to quit telling people about your church because who's going to listen? We are relying heavily now, churches are, on social media. Facebooks, Twitters, Instagrams, things of that nature. And we think that that's where ministry lies. But that wasn't the ministry of Christ. That wasn't what Christ did. But he gave us the ministry of spreading the gospel. Well, what is that gospel? I'm going to tell you this with as much conviction as I can. If you take John 3:16 out of the Bible and you forget what it is, you have no salvation. The church has no foundation. The church has no purpose. The church has no life. Because in this one verse carries the whole essence and the being of God himself. His passion, his desire, his purpose, his plan is all wrapped up into this one verse. So I want today to, as we start this new year off, as we think about where's Zion Bible Fellowship going? Where am I going? In the previous text we just read, the reason I went there is I want you to stop focusing on the church as a church. I want you to focus more on who you are, where you're at, what are you doing? Because in this media generation that we're living in, it seems like that we get caught up on building the church. How can we get more people in? What if we did this? What if we offered that? I know out in California, and over the years, churches were giving toasters away, football tickets. I mean, just to get people to come in their doors. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Believe it or not, I am Bible Fellowship just like every God-fearing, breathing, teaching, preaching church does. If they will do just one thing, the church will grow on its own. And that's lift up Jesus.
Amen.
He said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men to me.
Yes, amen.
I don't have to worry about programs, events. While they're useful, I should not rely on them for growth. Well, the same thing works in your spiritual life. I don't go to church to get spiritual growth. I go to church so that I can have fellowship with God, with God's children.
Yes, amen.
Well, sometimes even our worship gets out of sync. We focus more about what God is doing for us instead of worshiping God for who he is to us.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's kind of, if you're not walking with God, that's real easy to get lost in. See? So read with me, if you will, or follow along. In John 3:16, he says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life."
Amen.
Now here's the thing. You can't, it can stand on its own, but you have to see who he's talking to. Verse 17 says, "For I did not come into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." While Christians get on this righteous pot of condemnation to people, the world rejects you. The world says, "I don't want to be around those Christians. I don't want to, get them out of the way." And the Christians are saying, "Well, no, we're not condemning you. We're trying to show you the error of your way." Well, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to introduce to them Jesus, where they are. See, look at what it says, and I'm going to execute this down as best I can. It says, "For God." Stop right there. God, not you, not the church, not your job, not your finances, nothing. But God, and God alone, is orchestrating everything. We have to accept that. I was talking to a young person this week, and I said, "Listen, I don't have to do anything the Bible tells me. I don't have to believe anything you say. I don't have to do anything you tell me." And she looks at me and she goes, "Well, then why do it?" I said, "Exactly. If I'm going to let God be God, then I must listen to God to do the things that he wants me to do. Not what the world wants me to do. Not what religion wants me to do." Now, don't misunderstand me. Religion has its place. But your fellowship through the relationship that you have with God is most important. Same thing works in a marriage. Same thing works in your job. See, these principles are all encompassing. If I want to get ahead in my job, I can't go into the boss and say, "Look, I want your job." What do you think he's going to say? He's going to say, "No. You got to earn this." See, and when we present the gospel of Jesus Christ and we put all these other things, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, and God's left out of the picture, what are we teaching people? You got to wear certain clothes, you got to play certain music, you got to go to a certain day of the week, you have to, and we put all these do's and don'ts. And while Christianity in and of itself has its own order, it's not a bunch of do's and don'ts that cannot be done. Because Jesus says that my yoke is easy, my burden is light. I'm not going to make this so complicated that you can't do it. But the thing is, you must let me do it through you. So God has to be the key. So you say, "Well, what about God?" He loved us. Man, I wish I could really share with you or tell you what that love is. All I can do is tell you that the word "gave" is right there. Which means that my love has to be sacrificial. My love has to be willing to give rather than take. Rather than to provide, rather than to see if I can get it from you. I have to lose myself in order to give that kind of love away. And the text says that God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. That is the value and the depth of love. Well, think about yourself as a Christian. Whenever you're going through the new year and you're thinking of everything, how much love is involved in it? Well, What's your end game? See, the end game is what matters. And oftentimes, the end game is us, rather than the people we say we love. When you start to think about Christianity and you see divorce rate as the same as the secular rate at close to 60%, it makes you wonder who's loving who. Did I miss something in my love? See, can I love like God loves? To the point to where nothing in this world matters to me but the love of God to a lost and dying world. It's easy to love when you look through those glasses and you see what love can do. Love doesn't mean if you love me, you would. Love says, because I love you, I will.
Amen.
See, and so it makes a difference in how people receive it. The lost world doesn't know anything about this kind of love. And if we can't love each other with that kind of love, the world will never see the light of God in the midst of the darkness. So if we forget that God loved us so much that he sent his son to die for us, that has to be asked of us. Am I willing to die for Christ? How many of you are willing to die for your family? Most people would say, I would. Is Christ more important than your family? See, I don't know if you're watching the media and the events that's going on around the world, but let me give you a quick update because this has really got me terrifiedly stoked. Don't go to China, because China has now implemented, now it's already communistic, all right, we'll just lay that out there right now. But China has now implemented social credit. Social credit says that you're going to get measured by your conduct in society. And if you can't behave yourself, we're going to stop everything you do. So what they've done is they put up 40 million cameras. And through facial recognition, they're able to scan you out. And if you jaywalk, if you don't buy the right things, if you do yada, 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 the whole scheme, they will give you a credit score that will stop you from traveling, that will stop you from buying, that will stop you from going anywhere, buying a car, anything. Now, I said that to say this. China is setting the world up for what the world's going to be doing. So we need to pay attention to it. Well, fast forward now. Let's say it happened here in the United States. Brother Jerry here can't go home because he got caught turning on the red when he should have waited until it was green. So he gets back social credit. They arrest him. Got to bail him out. Well, she's got bad social credit. What do you do? See, these are things that we're not trying to get people to we're not giving people the ability to understand that even in the midst of that hardship, you have to trust God. You have to let the love of God resonate through it. That's a terrifying day. And most people don't believe it's going to happen. But it's already happening. It's already in place. How many of you have the Google deal, the phone thing that follows you around when you're on the phone? Did you know that's a form of facial recognition? How many of you have the Sprint phone now to where it'll identify your face and unlock and stuff? Have you seen that? See, we're being primed for it and we don't even know it. But what they've done also in China, that is a precursor to what's going to happen here, is the government has sanctioned religion. if you don't worship in a sanctioned building, then you are violating religious rule, and you can spend up to 15 years in prison. Yeah. We had a young lady from China in our church not too long ago, and she was tormented for that. They beat her, they made her wear shackles, they made her walk 24 hours, nonstop. Wouldn't let her sit down, and then they beat her. All because she worshiped God. All because she wouldn't sign a declaration rejecting her faith. Man, that's love, see? That's the love that God's talking about. I love God more than I love my life. And I'm willing to suffer and die for it. Americans don't know anything about that. The government shut down right now, and we're worried about if we're going to get a paycheck. God said he'd take care of it. Don't worry about it. God will provide because he loves us. He knows how to take care of us. But now, does that provision also mean that I might have to go to your house to get some food? It might. Does that mean I might have to come to your house and stay with you a while? It might. But are you willing to do it? Or are you too prideful? See? And then he puts this all-encompassing statement that whosoever. Understand this, folks, that salvation is for everyone, but not everyone can receive it. And that's the sadness of it. It's like you put people into the wildest dreams, and they can have it, but they don't want it. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. Well, guess what? You got to die to get to heaven. But you also have to die to go to hell. I attended a funeral this week, and I got thinking about how we act at funerals. A couple of things you'll never hear anybody say at a funeral. This man, this woman, this body right here, this person went to hell. You won't hear nobody say that. And you won't hear anybody say anything bad about the person that's in the casket. They were a good person. By whose standard? See, Jesus spoke more on hell than anything else. That's why he said, whosoever will. Well, that whosoever will means I have come to the reality in my life that I need a Savior because I am on my way to condemnation of an everlasting fire. The church can't do that for you. Your brothers and sisters can't do that for you. Your mom and dad can't do that for you. It is by your own request. And so many times, people get caught up into their religion and expect their religion to save them, and the religion doesn't save them. It is what they believe about God and what he did and what he wants to do and your faith to believe that he can. Amen. It's that simple. It's not complicated. See? And if I let that resonate through my life, then the second part of that comes, whosoever believeth. Do you know that believing is a tough task? It's very tough. My wife and I have been married over 33 and a half years now, and that doesn't mean that she has total faith that I would never cheat on her. Now, she's believing it. She's also believing that I'll never abuse her. She's also believing that I'll never do anything to harm her, but it doesn't mean I won't. So by her faith in what she believes, she hangs out with me. That's a cool thing. See? I know that life is going to get tough, but I believe that God is who he says he is, and he says that he'd never leave me nor forsake me, and that he knows what I'm in need of, and he said that he would provide it for me if all I do is believe him. But believing requires me to act on what I believe. I can't just say, oh, I believe it and do nothing. If I tell my wife I love her and she believes I love her, then she's waiting for me to act out what I said I do, believing that I do. But if I don't believe I love her, I will tell her anything she wants to hear just so I can get my way. You ever do that? Just tell what you want to hear. Look around us. Look what's going on in our world. People will tell you anything you want to hear just so they can get what they want.
Yes.
Are we that way with God? Are we that way? Have we forgotten that He gave everything that was most precious to Him so that we could have everlasting life? Because you got to remember, God does nothing wrong. Everything God does is good and right. Look at verse 17 again. For I did not come into the world to condemn it. God is not here to condemn you. You're condemned already. You're condemned already. By your own sin, you are condemned. So I don't have to tell you, stop being a drunkard. I don't have to, God hates that. That wasn't God's approach at all. That wasn't Jesus' approach at all. Jesus said, look, I know what you're dealing with. I got an answer for it. I got an answer for it. See, because me telling you to stop is not going to make you stop. But me showing you how to stop, then you have hope that there's a way out. And so many times we condemn rather than present a way out. Now, do you tell the truth? Yeah, you tell the truth. But you do it in love. Well, what love? The love of God. You don't want anything bad to happen. And sometimes we mask these things by saying constructive criticism. There's no constructive criticism. If you're a Christian and you believe in God and you say you love God and this and you're living in sin, then you need to be told, don't do that. Fix it. But if you don't know Christ and you don't know where you're going when you die and you don't believe there's a hell and you really need to know who this Jesus is, then we need to be patient and long-suffering and loving and kind because that's who Jesus went after. And He started with His own people. How bad is that? It's pretty bad. I got to clean up my own house before I can get the rest of the people involved. But that's where it starts. Why? Because those are the people that depend on you the most. Those are the people that want to see that hope. Those are the people that want to see if what you believe is real. So as we start this new year, we think about our churches and we think about what we're doing. Have we gotten tired and let the cares of, for lack of a better expression, doing church weigh us down to where we don't even try anymore? What if Jesus did that to us? What if He just stopped? What if in the garden, now, in the theaters of your mind, walk with me there for a minute. In the garden, when He's down on His knees, and He looks up to the Father, and He's praying, and He's praying with such passion and such intensity that His sweat is like drops of blood. And He says, Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. What if Jesus at that time would say, okay, yeah, you don't have to do it. Where would you be today? That's why we need to be reminded that God loves us, that He cares for us. And as we go down to this new year, are we willing to tell people that there's a God who loves you? There's a God who cares you. But not only are we going to say it, but we're going to show it to you. We're going to live this out the way that it needs to be lived out, even to the point of death. That's hard. How many of you are afraid to get arrested? I know I am. I don't want to get arrested, but I will get arrested for cause. If you're going to stop me from preaching, well, you might as well just kill me now.
Yes, amen.
Because that's not going to happen.
Yes.
But because I know what's coming down the future, I'm preparing myself today to fight the good fight. Can you fight it? Can you stand your ground? Are you willing to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in His work? See, I can't answer any of that. All I can do is what Peter did, is to remind you of why you need to stay strong. Because there's people counting on you, and God has blessed you with a gift that you don't deserve. God has provided for you eternity when you should have gone to hell. You need to be reminded of that. That's why there in 2 Peter he says, make sure of your election. Make sure that you are part of the body of Christ. Make sure you've received Christ. You've confessed Him, you believe in Him, and that you've made Him the Lord of your life. Make sure of that. Because in doing so, you have everlasting life. Father, I thank you so much for allowing us here today. Father, there's so much that we need to be reminded of. But one thing for sure that we should never forget is that you loved us so much that you sent your Son to die on the cross for us, that we may have everlasting life. To all of those who believe and confess it with their mouth and believe it in their hearts, the works that you do and the works you want to do. And Father, I would ask as we go down through this year, and as those listening through the social media and the sound of my voice here, that we have made sure of our election, and that we know beyond doubt that if we were to die today, that heaven would be our home. Hell is no longer a concern because you have conquered the grave, death, and hell, so that we may have life everlasting. Father, let your will be done in everything we do and say. In Jesus' name.